Hi, it's Prachel and I'm back with another video, and this one is about how I plan on creating a high vibe living space here in Lisbon, Portugal. So as you know, Fearless Vixen is all about living the high vibe life. And what that means is that you live a life surrounded by positive energy, good vibes, and you're able to express that throughout your world. And that's what Fearless Vixen is about. It's about you turning your life into a testament to who you are. And who you are is a beautiful high vibration being. And to be a high vibration being, you need to be in a high vibration space. So thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I have wanted to do this video for a very long time because I'm a Taurus. No, not tourist, Taurus. My sun sign is a Taurus. So I've known for many years that because of the sign that I was born under, I'm actually a Gemini moon, but a Taurus sun, I actually am very earthy and grounded. I'm all about safety, security, home, decadence, opulence, and most importantly, this is just a personal trait of mine, peace. My motto is there will be peace at home. There will always be peace in my home. I've always been able to create very harmonious, peaceful, high vibration living environments. And I actually get that from my mother, who that's the kind of home that I grew up in. My parents are very high vibration people, and I never saw my parents argue. I grew up in a home that was just full of love and warmth and comfort. And so coming from that type of environment, I've always been able to create those types of spaces. And in fact, I've been with my partner for, I think we're going on 7 years now, something like that. And who's counting now? And we've never had an argument. We've never had an argument because that's who we are. We both grew up in very high vibration, very loving, very warm homes. But on top of that, that's who we envision ourselves to be. And so when you talk about creating a space that you live in, we're going to talk about it from the point of balance and harmony and peace and love. And that doesn't mean that if you don't have your own space, or maybe your space is a room, or maybe you share a space with someone else. Your space, your peace, your happiness, your comfort, your harmonious nature, it starts in your head. So I'm going to show you something. I brought this with me to Lisbon because it's something that is, wherever I go, I try to bring an element of that earthiness, that groundedness of who I am, who I express myself as, which obviously is a Taurus, like I said. And this sage, you don't have to have sage in your space, but sage, and I've got an argan here, you can see. And I have, this was gifted to me actually. I've got a house blessing kit. Now this is, I don't deal in these. I don't sell these. I actually am showing these to you because you should always bring an element of nature into your space. You should always have like a living plant or a water fountain or something that represents groundedness and nature. So that's always number one. Always bring in nature from the outside into your space, because what that does is it helps with absorbing negative energy, and there will always be negative energy. Because there's always going to be positive energy, there's always going to be the opposite. So you're always going to have negative energy. It doesn't mean that it's going to permeate throughout your entire space, but it's always going to be there. And so what we do is we try to create some type of balance between negative and positive, so that the balance of the space veers towards being very positive. Now, the energy here in Lisbon, Portugal, from what I've experienced, is very positive, very high vibration. This is a very high vibration space. And what I get from that is that it will be very easy for me to create a high vibration space, because this is a high vibration place already. If I was going into an environment that wasn't high vibration, I probably wouldn't settle, because I have to be in spaces of good, positive energy. That's what I thrive off of. And that's probably what you thrive off as well, because you're listening to this video. So number one, like I said, always bring in an element of nature into your environment. The next thing I want to talk to you about is art. This is something that we don't talk about very often, and this is not a video on how to decorate or how to pull together a space, using color and texture. I'm not an interior designer, but I have a natural gift at pulling together very peaceful spaces, and I'll show you some of the spaces that I've put together now. So those were just different spaces of places that I've lived in the past 10, 15 years. And what you'll find is that no matter what income level I was at, I was always able to create space using what I'm teaching you today, which is always have something natural in your space, plant, water, just something from the outside. And then number two, have something that you naturally gravitate towards. And that could be art. And I want to talk about art in a little more detail, because I think that art is one of the most underappreciated aspects of our world. And when I say underappreciated, I just mean it in a way where I believe that there is a piece of art for everyone's taste and budget. I'm not talking about the art that costs 5 figures, 4 figures, even 3 figures. I'm just talking about art in general, something that you love, a piece that you can either put on the wall, or a sculpture, or even a knickknack, something that you love. You should always have something that you love and that you gel with in your space, because what happens is that when you pull that element into your space and you look at that every single day, it lifts your mood, it lifts your vibration. So always have an element of art in your space. Over the years, I've been able to collect some really beautiful pieces. I have my favorite artists. Some artists, I'm going to have to really budget to afford some of their work, but other artists, I'm able to just buy it off the wall, I should say, because it's been very affordable for me, and some art has been gifted to me. And what I want to do is I want to bring in elements of Lisbon into the space that I'm creating. So once it's safe to go back out again, because right now we are still in the heart of a pandemic and everyone is staying at home and everyone is doing what they're supposed to be doing. Once things start opening back up again, I'm going to show you how I shop for art and how I bring in art and how I incorporate the art into my space. Now behind me, you'll see this beautiful wall in our Airbnb that we're staying in right now. This Airbnb has so many special touches, and I feel like we actually vibrated towards it because we only saw the pictures online. Of course, you don't really see your Airbnb before you arrive, but when we got here, we were just like blown away by the colors and the textures and the art that was used here to create the space. And we thought to ourselves, wow, we attracted this into our being. I'm telling you, when you create a space and you know that that space is vibrating with positivity and love and happiness and joy, you're going to attract and you're going to pull that in everywhere you go. It's a really beautiful relationship because you're going to pull in whatever it is that you're vibrating at, and you're going to, the space that you're in is always going to help you to vibrate at a higher level. The next thing that you want to make sure you have in your space, and this is something that I think it's really underappreciated. It will fall under the category of art, but every once in a while, even if you're not into it, every once in a while, go on YouTube or Pandora or wherever you get your music and type in either spa music, relaxation music, meditation music, dream music for sleep, rainfall, nature sounds. Gosh, there's so many. Throat singing. I don't know if you ever heard throat singing, but it's fantastic. And play that in your space, because what that does again is it helps to lift the vibration of the space. See, you can't have an abundance of positive energy and negative energy at the same time. It's impossible. So when you fill your space with positive vibes, with positive energy, whatever negative energy that may have came in with you through the door, it can't exist. So again, like I said, there's always going to be negative and positive, but the abundance of the energy in your space, as long as it's positive, then you will have that harmonious, balanced energy that you want to live in. And trust me, this works. Here's the thing. You don't have to buy a single thing to create a beautiful, harmonious space. And here in Lisbon, once we settle into our forever home, so to speak, it's going to vibrate with such wonderful energy, with such wonderful vibes because of what I'm planning to put into the space. I don't necessarily believe that if you're collecting art or if you are bringing things into your space, it has to all be from the same place. And you definitely don't need to bring in elements into your space. When I say elements, I mean the nature elements, the art, music. You definitely don't have to be monolithic with that. It doesn't have to be all the same artists, all the same music. Sometimes I have dream sequence music, and sometimes I'm listening to rock or R&B or a little bit of hip hop sometimes. It doesn't have to be all the same genre. It just needs to vibrate at a level that resonates with you. So when we do create our dream space, our forever home here, it's going to take a little bit. Again, like I said, we're in the middle of this pandemic and we are not doing anything that's not essential. And shopping is certainly not an essential activity. But once we get in and once we get going, I'm going to show you how I'm pulling this dream space together. And I really do hope that you go on this journey with me. So this has been Prachel with Fearless Vixen. I hope that these tips have been helpful and for you to pull together a balanced, harmonious living space on your own. If you have any questions or comments, drop them below and I'm happy to answer them. Be sure to visit me at fearlessvixen.org or on Instagram, Facebook under Prachel Carter, and I will see you in the next video. You take care. Bye.